everybody, finally we are back for another year of Philadelphia Eagles training camp, and right here on Philly Sports Network we're going to be documenting every step of the way, every pass, every tackle, every rise, every fall, every story, every day. If you couldn't need more, every's there. My name is Liam Jenkins. Welcome to the channel. I hope you've all had a good day. If you have been at work, if you haven't been able to catch up with what's been going on at the NovaCare complex, don't fret. We're going to make a bite-sized version for you right here, right now. If you're new around here, guys, it would be amazing if you could hit that subscribe button. If not, don't worry about it. And before we get into anything Eagles related, what we have to talk about is something that happened during Nick Sirianni's press conference earlier today. So, of course, it was live streamed on Periscope. And throughout this, I was taking notes and writing down quotes and getting ready for a day's worth of content when this popped on my screen. So, cheers, Kemp, for that. And that's since become a bit of a meme. And I wondered what this year's bit would be. You know, we've had Clayton Dawson songs. We've had John Hightower moments. Liam Jenkins shags cats, apparently. So, off to a good start. But on to the actual Eagles content then, guys. Let's start off with the injury updates. And there are actually a few of them. The team made a couple of roster moves before practice started today, putting 3 players on the COVID-19 list. Alex Singleton was one of them, Matt Leo another, and new starting safety Anthony Harris was the third. Now, there's nothing to be concerned about here. This shouldn't develop into a who is and isn't vaccinated discussion. Howie Roseman went out and said that 90% of players are actually in the process of being vaccinated, which is a pretty good sign. All this list is essentially contact tracing. So if you've been in contact with someone that's had it, you'll be on that list. The thing they did was place a couple of players on the physically unable to perform list. Rodney McLeod was one of them. I think we all kind of expected that one. The second player was Landon Dickerson. Team's second round pick, coming off of a bad injury last year, not surprising. Versatile tackle LaRaven Clark, though, who's got a great name, by the way, did sign with the team this offseason, and he, believe it or not, is also on PUP. One man who isn't on PUP is Brandon Brooks, and that for me is like the biggest dub of all time. The guy's coming back off back-to-back Achilles tears, and is somehow practicing at training camp. He's somehow with the team, running around like nothing's happened. Like, it's unbelievable. The man is an absolute cyborg. Just a huge round of applause deserved there for Brandon Brooks, man. The guy is an absolute machine. I hope he can get back to his best this year. All right, other elephant in the room. Zach Ertz is blonde. We need to come up with a new nickname for this, I think. I mean, this is it's too good. It's too good to pass up on. Zach Ertz comes up to training camp, is practicing. I've said a long time ago I don't think he gets traded. If he wasn't traded in the draft, that I doubt it actually happens, and it looks like that's where we're headed. So now he comes back to training camp looking like he's just recorded Machine Gun Kelly's new album, so I aptly gave him the nickname Machine Gun Ertz. However, I think you guys can do better. So let me know. We need a new blonde nickname for Zach Ertz. Let me know down in the comment section. I'll give out a PSN shout or something to the top comment next week. Into the actual stuff we saw on the field. There was a little bit of quarterback rust, which I don't think is surprising. We saw new cornerback Josiah Scott pick off Jalen Hurts, which for any Josiah Scott fans is pretty encouraging. But overall, the quarterbacks did just seem a little bit rusty. I think the big thing with Jalen Hurts was that he was seen constantly going to Devonta Smith and going 3 consecutive times in the red zone. The third one ended up being a touchdown. I like that. I like seeing the bond being built. And while talking about Jalen Hurts, we also saw after practice that he was surrounded by his wide receivers, and that's something he's told the media he wants to do every single day. Get 1% better each day, that they get together, kind of go over the practice, what they did well, what they need to improve, and then shoot for it again the very next day. And I like that. I think that he's clearly got his head in the right space. Nick Sirianni also spoke about the young quarterback today, and when asked about what he wants to see this offseason, the response was actually pretty clear. He mentioned footwork. He didn't mention mechanics. He didn't mention throwing the ball or accuracy or anything like that. He mentioned footwork, that he wants his quarterbacks to be in sync with the receivers, to go on a 3-step drop when that ball pops out, when they start the transition into the throwing motion, just to make sure they're on the same page. I think a lot of Jalen Hurts' issues from his rookie season would be nullified with comfort in the pocket. From that comes good footwork. Like, you can't have comfort in the pocket if you can't climb the ladder. If you're not good on a 3-step drop or on a 5-step drop or dropping 3 and switching to your second read, you don't have that. So I think by Sirianni placing an emphasis on saying letting Jalen Hurts throw the ball how he wants and simply really focusing on that footwork, getting him comfortable in the pocket, making sure he's not just going to take off and look for a gap instantly, and instead be ready to sit there, light on his toes, ready to deliver that ball. I really like that. It's rare to see that kind of clarity from a head coach, and it's something that fans can look for as well throughout preseason games and the such. At left tackle, we saw Andre Dillard line up at the first team spot during group installs, so for what it's worth, I'm guessing he's going to be given that to begin with. I'm sure they're going to rotate, nothing too scary to worry about there, but understandably, the former first round pick has a bit more value. They're probably going to give him the run up to begin with and let Mailata kind of claw that back. There were some new coaching drills as well, which I thought was very interesting. There was one where they had a boxing glove on a stick and were just jabbing receivers. There was another one where receivers or ball carriers had to run through a lot of pads, like a tunnel of pads, and there's an emphasis there on ball security, which given Jalen's 9 fumbles last year, given that Miles Sanders led the NFL in running back drops, I like it. I like that Sirianni's getting hands-on, that there's a lot of emphasis on ball security and protection, and we saw him taking Devonta Smith to one side earlier today, having a chat with him. I like that he's so integrated with these players. We saw a little bit of 3-4 from the team down in the red zone, which I'm sure out loud sounds very alien after seeing Jim Schwartz's scheme, but in context, you can kind of see it coming, right? The team kind of implementing this Mike Zimmer-esque defense. It's going to be a lot of fluid looks, a lot of versatile guys who are going to line up at multiple spots. I mean, Fletcher Cox today mentioned that rookie Milton Williams can play the Brandon Graham role, which is essentially a defensive end and a pass rushing defensive tackle. There's a lot of things you can do with some of these guys. You look at someone like Jannard Avery, who is moving to linebacker, but has played defensive end. You look at someone like Davion Taylor with that speed. They could both line up at the line of scrimmage, like they used to do with Eric Kendricks down in Minnesota, and then fly back into coverage. So I'm expecting a lot of that. There was also, believe it or not, a new underdog. I wrote an article not too long ago about the preseason heroes from yesteryear that everyone loves to rally behind, from Paul Turner to me personally, Aaron Grimes. I remember Dane Evans not too many years ago at quarterback really upstaging Matt McGloin, Alex Singleton another. This year, who will it be? There's an early contender. His name is Tyree Jackson. He's a former quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, converting to tight end. And within the space of one practice, he'd ran over Davion Taylor. I'm pretty sure he had a bit of a shoulder barge with Rashard Smith. And let's be honest, there isn't a ton of depth here at tight end. Zach Ertz, if he's moved, leaves Dallas Goedert. He's got his own durability concerns. And then next to no one. Maybe Richard Rodgers and Jack Stoll. Like, there isn't a lot of depth there. There's a real chance, if he can kick on, that he could at least make the practice squad. So I'm rooting for Tyree Jackson. I want to see what he can do. We also saw a little bit of Boston Scott as the lead punt returner, but we did see some looks from Devonta Smith as well. So for anyone wanting to see Devonta Smith as a punt returner, your wish might be, not my command, but maybe Nick Sirianni's command. It does a team are experimenting though, but Boston Scott has the early stead. A little update on Jalen Reagor. He's limited. He's at practice working out, but he's not doing team drills, so just doing the individual stuff. Apparently he's got some lower body tightness. We'll see how that goes over the course of the coming week. But guys, that rounds out today's video, the first episode of Training Camp Diaries, year number, whatever year we're in now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and got some valuable information out of it. If you liked this video, please let me know down in the comments. Give your opinions on all of today's topics. My name's Liam Jenkins. I'll see you soon.